Likes are free. Give them out. That is the headline on a Reddit post that I just came across when I Googled likes are free, which is the topic, and is a term I very fortunately learned from my good vegan friend Kelly, my non-drinking vegan friend Kelly. She doesn't sustain on much. We met on Match many years ago in my drinking days, but she never seemed to mind that I was putting a few back. And I've since learned from that, hey, I used to say, if you haven't heard me, that I drank to make other people more interesting, and now I encourage them to drink to make me more interesting. So perhaps that was her approach. But anyway, she said likes are free, and that led me to be much more frequent when giving out likes on social media. It only takes 2 seconds, and it's such a kind thing to do. Now, yeah, it can't be detestable content. Ideally, it's likable to begin with, but it doesn't have to be supremely likable, which is the standard for my quasi-cousin Chris, who's afraid of handing them out too much so it doesn't prove as rewarding. It's like, dude, don't worry about it. Just do it. And what this guy said, and by the way, I invented a term for people like that called likewads. Get it? Like tightwads, likewads. That is what we call a sniglet. It's a word that is not in the dictionary, but it should be. That was invented by this guy Rich Hall on the show, not necessarily the news, long ago. Some examples, I actually just Googled it. Some other ones are bullsheet. Is that advertising supplement in a newspaper? Idiot box, which is the part of an envelope indicating where to place the stamp for those who can't figure it out. Phonesia, forgetting who you're calling just as the person answers a phone. That was pre-cell phone days. Rignition, almost like reignition, which is the embarrassing act of trying to start a car that is already running. Still do that every now and then. And then telecit, which is the polite distance people maintain behind each other in an ATM. Although I remember posting during COVID that the ATM vestibule was full of people. It's like we're all going to die. People just didn't care. It was amazing. Back to the envelope. I once had to mail my uncle. First time I ever moved out of my parents' house, fun fact, was thanks to my Uncle Bob, who sublet me his place, who was actually my aunt's, that he was subletting from, ironically, but he would go down Florida for the winter. And so the first rent check I sent him, I reused an envelope I got in the mail, or is it envelope? One of these bad boys, I'm holding it up. Oh, I guess you can see that. I forgot. I'm used to now with my podcast, not everybody watches it. These are only available at the moment on YouTube, so most are watching, though you might be out of the room. So yeah, I'm showing, reusable ones you get from utilities, but they have barcodes on them. And by the way, I like to say I am a thrifty conservationist, so that double works against me. So I refuse to buy envelopes. So it's such a waste to get a million of these things. So I mailed it to him, right? And he said, I didn't get it. I said, I know I mailed it. I know I put a stamp in the idiot box. He never got it. I canceled it, resent another one. Months later, he got it. And yes, it's because these barcodes are actually coded with the address of the utility, which actually makes a lot of sense. But they should put a warning, do not use these for other purposes. So now when I use them, I have to make sure to cross out the barcode. And they should really stop sending them, because I can't be the only one that does this and has had that problem. Anyway, point is, as this guy said in the Reddit post, there's no need to be precious about likes. And this post was about a picture app called Pixel Feed. And he said, I noticed there's a lot of photos on the feed that never get any interactions. We don't need to reserve our likes for an upside down black and white photo of a swan shot through the reflection of a puddle. Give grandma's cat a heart. The guy's tree in his backyard. Heck yeah, brother. He said, and people tend to engage more when they feel their work is being seen, and it'll be nice to encourage an inviting community. Plus, it's mutually beneficial. I've noticed about 1 in 10 to 15 likes will follow you in return. And it's so true. And I'm so glad that I've been handing out likes. Kelly told me that, I don't know, 10 years ago. So now that I am a content provider, I do certainly appreciate reciprocal likes. Though it's almost a little phony baloney. You know, people will come on, they'll follow you on Instagram, and they'll obviously just like few of your most recent posts. I'm like, did you even read them? I try to at least spread it out in like a few of, not just the most recent, and I do try to read them. But great lesson I learned from Sober Mindset is her handle. I know her from my sobriety community. She said, I don't worry about it. She got blasted by someone that wasn't giving them reciprocal likes. She's like, listen, I'm here to do content. Yeah, I go on a few times a week or once a day and try to look at the posts of people I follow, you know, friends, whatever. But I can't be given reciprocal likes. And it's true. You know, I even read recently there's almost two kinds. You're either a creator or you're a follower. So, and appreciate the followers. But someday you might want to be a creator. So you'll appreciate the likes. But I'm not doing this as an appeal to give me personally likes. I learned to stop worrying about that a long time ago. Thank God. I mean, you'll look at some YouTubes that have thousands and thousands of views and then say 37 likes. It's amazing. Someone was even talking about that, some company that does great social media, and the same thing. They've got even more than that, you know, hundreds of thousands of views and then a handful of likes. Because people are likewads. So give likes. Consider it your good deed of the day, along with recycling, which is mine. I said, why do I care? I don't have any children. I want everyone who survives me to be screwed, yet I still recycle because it feels like a good deed of the day. All right, that'll do it. As always, please like, share, subscribe, and remember, stronger, sober. Thanks.